you Gunther Rachel shippers. Welcome to the 150th Square Eye Syndrome Friends Special. I hope you're very well. I'm your host, Ben Gilman, and we are always there for you. I'm joined by my usual lot. The woman that last week tried to step out of anniversaries, she doesn't like to commit to them, but I made sure she was here for it. It's Helen Watkins.
Hi.
A woman that's only seen half of season 1, so this will be interesting. Tara Chloe.
Hello. What do you think about the cat?
What cat?
The cat I just showed you, earlier on.
We're off topic already in the first.
Okay, so for everybody that's listening to this podcast, just imagine a cat.
A cat, a very cute cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the audio described version of our chat earlier on.
Yeah, the cat was very sweet.
It was very sweet. It was a good cat.
Yep, it was.
And look up your mothers, your daughters, your fathers, your brothers, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunties, and your dogs and pets, because Troy Salmon's out and we don't know what he will do.
What's up? I'm here.
This is a man that puts women's wrestlers' butt cheeks on his video file. That's all I'm going to say. Saw it earlier. Could have been really non-sexist, but I saw the butt cheeks up front and centre of it. Come on, seriously. If we're going to be big up women's wrestling, we can't be doing the TNA side of it. So I'm calling.
Oh my God, here we go. That's what you do, man. You got to do it.
Not impressed. I know.
Women's empowerment, man. Women's empowerment, man.
Make her butt cheeks.
Hey, Helen, women's empowerment.
Yeah.
Right.
A woman has every right to get her TNA out if she wants to.
Women's empowerment.
She should not be judged for it.
Hold up. That's just why do you think about Troy putting it on a thumbnail now? This is a different perspective.
I don't know because I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing that it's not a picture that the woman wouldn't want out there.
Yeah, so basically it's a woman, yeah, it's a wrestler, turns her back when she does her entrance pose, and she does it on purpose. The butt cheeks are out, you know what I'm saying? That's what she does.
I'm going to shut the fuck up and get on with the Friends special.
I mean, if he asked her to take it down, if she asked him to take it down and he didn't, I might have some words for him, but...
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see if it's that entrance. I don't watch this wrestling show.
Jordan, she approved it, so that's all good.
I don't stay plugged into TV 24/7. I sleep.
She approved it, so don't worry about it. Twitter, she approved it, so that's fine. So.
I will go with that first version. How are all you people doing today?
I'm good, yeah. It's a week for anniversary. It's my wedding anniversary on Monday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Be nice.
Oh, congratulations.
My wife.
Made the first year.
Woohoo! That's the important thing. Get past that first year, and at least you can hold your head up high. Because that's the start, man. The first year.
Yeah. I have been to a wedding that ended at the reception.
Oh,
where the marriage ended at the reception.
Really? How?
What happened?
I can't tell you. But
wow.
there was an argument, and there was a bit of time between the reception and the wedding. They got married abroad, but then there was an argument at the reception, and
That's brutal.
6 weeks.
That's all. Okay. It's a shame we don't want to mention the people who might listen to this podcast because of you. Yeah, but still, ouch. Happy to hear if you're alive. Sounds like something out of EastEnders. I'm trying to imagine what could have led to them breaking up. Did somebody?
I'm not commenting. I'm not saying anything.
Fair play.
Yeah. Never know who's listening out there in the shadows.
In the shadows. In the shadow. Whoa.
Shadows.
In the shadows.
Coming over the Rasmus, in the shadows.
That old one with the bird in the hair. This makes me interesting. I've got a dead crow.
Oh, the Rasmus. I mean, they're actually pretty good, though.
I have a bird in my hair. Look how interesting I am.
Oh, my little sister loved the Rasmus.
Yeah, they're actually pretty good.
Yeah.
We are so far off topic already. Can we talk about
already? What is going on?
So,
okay.
I'm not explaining what Friends is. You know what the fuck Friends is. End of. And for 10 years. Tara Chloe. We are going to go through predictions. Who you think the 6 friends? What your prediction will be since you've only watched half of season 1.
Okay, so I think we should start with like what are your first impressions, right? And then we'll think about what Tara's predictions are for each of them.
Go ahead, Tara. You take the
Because
floor.
I think first impressions are important.
Okay. My first impression is it's a very old show.
Yeah.
Even the graphics look old.
It was made in 1994. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that's really long ago. It's the same year as Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Ace
Yeah.
Ventura, Pet Detective. Oh, yeah.
Oh shit! The rhino shat a man out.
That was the second one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was part 2, yeah.
But it's old, yeah.
Yeah. So, so far I've just watched half season 1, and I guess it's alright so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think of the characters?
Yeah.
Like, if you were to tell me who's your favorite?
And who's your worst?
I don't have a favorite yet.
Who's your worst?
Yeah, who do you hate, and why is it Ross Gellar?
No, don't
Ugly.
do that.
Oh my, Helen's out here putting this.
He looks like a
That's
troll.
why in
He's
season
ugly.
1, he's okay. What are you doing? Oh my God.
Oh my god.
I don't know. When I look at him, I'm like, damn, this guy's ugly.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh my god.
He looks like a troll.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, you don't know. You don't know what
Would
you're
you say
feeling.
like? Would you say like? Not move to France for that man.
What's the
Not
point?
move to France.
Oh, actually, you haven't given it away who it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like,
you're
if you had your dream job lined up, right? And Ross from Friends was like, I don't want you to go. Would you be like, all right then? Or would you be like, nah, dinosaur boy, screw you?
The second option.
Exactly. Okay, so Tara's got her head screwed on. We like this. We enjoy this.
How about
Okay.
Chandler?
Who?
The guy that is everyone thinks is gay, the one that is not Ross or Joey.
Chandler.
I don't know. I have no opinion.
How about Joey?
I'm still getting used to characters, so I don't really have much of an opinion on them.
Okay. How about Rachel, the one that came in the wedding dress in the first episode?
She's okay.
Okay. This is a great idea, Helen. Monica?
She's alright though.
I would love you to elaborate more than just okay.
I mean, I just started, so I don't know
far are
much
you
about
in?
it.
You're halfway. You've watched at least 12 episodes. Surely you have like a
Not
bit.
really less than that. So
It's not
Oh.
it's a bit in them. It's like 5 episodes.
yeah, so I mean, so far they're alright though. I can't really judge so much first. So
Phoebe. Okay, so this is going to be even funnier. I want you to predict where you think each of them are going to be at the end of the 10 seasons. Let's go for it. This will be hilarious. I can't.
maybe they're not friends anymore, or they have
That would
grown
be
up.
such a great ending. Just everyone hates each other. Right?
Okay,
I'm
No
not
more friends.
surprised though if it actually happens. Like, maybe they grew up and ran separate ways or something.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. I'm going to do a little spoiler, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, out of the 6, 4 of them end up together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one gets married, and
Uh-huh.
another one stays single.
Uh-huh.
So, and one of them gets a spin-off.
Oh, okay.
The single
Okay.
one gets the spin-off.
Oh, I was going to ask her to guess which one gets the spin-off.
Doesn't matter because she doesn't know who's single yet.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I don't know who it is.
which one do you think gets the spin-off?
The gay guy?
Which guy?
I think that might be Chandler.
The one you said.
Yeah.
Then you did it. Then you did that.
Okay. This is interesting. This is such a different podcast. If you came from a female perspective, we're throwing this out the window. It's gone. We've done this before, obviously. So one of our second biggest episodes of all time.
The gay guy.
Okay.
Chandler.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
which 2 become couples?
I don't even know their names. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so
we've got
Ugly Boy ugly boy,
Ugly boy,
rich girl,
Wait, let
ugly boy's sister,
crazy girl,
gay guy,
and wedding dress girl.
and Lothario.
Oh shit. Let me
Go
just check.
look at a cast picture or something.
Yeah, get a
Go
picture.
Go look at
Wait,
like
wait.
first season pictures.
Just go on Google,
First
type in friends,
season
you'll see him.
Pictures.
Virus on
Don't
my
look
computer.
at them later. Look at season 1, Friends.
Yeah.
Cast.
Yeah.
Because that way you can't spoil yourself. I love she doesn't know. She's most probably the only person on earth that doesn't know the Friends finale. This is amazing. Out of all the billions of people, that we found one person that hasn't watched all of Friends. This is great. Are we lucky?
We are lucky.
We are lucky we're in the age.
On my Friends Go to Drag Race, by the way, season 5. I talk about it off camera.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
interesting.
should.
I don't know his drag name. No, I'm a real bad friend. I will know his face when I see it. I'm an awful friend.
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me
the door! This is such great audio content.
This is so
Yeah,
good.
this just sounds exceptional.
Only this podcast where these people could produce this type of 150th anniversary special.
I mean, we can
No.
get into it. I just think it's a nice place to start. Is like
Yeah,
Tara's
that's
first
start point.
impressions.
I mean, you did say in the WhatsApp group when we found out Tara's only watched season 1, you were like, yay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, hold on. It's a work presentation. Let's go.
Okay.
I do
Yes.
work. How
Okay,
exciting.
maybe this shitty fucking. Okay, like maybe these two together, and this.
You can't see anything.
No.
Ah, why cannot?
You haven't shared your screen.
Did I share my screen?
Should we start singing the theme?
Oh yeah, there we go.
There we go.
I
Hold
can
on.
see it now.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my cursor?
I can see us.
Yeah, see if you see us.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
bit weird. It's like an
Yeah.
out-of-body experience.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Okay, so on the
Okay,
left is Joey.
No.
But
we point.
next to him
Okay,
is
can I just point to the character because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
maybe these two.
All right. So which one gets the spin off?
Which one gets the spin-off?
Okay, maybe this one. He looks gay.
Yeah.
Joey.
That's correct. That's correct. She is pointing at Joey. Everyone.
Ah!
Let's get the
You
spin
should have
off.
told her. You should have told her the answer immediately.
No, we are telling her the answer immediately. Come on. What?
Okay,
Right.
Joey.
Okay.
So Joey,
You guys have a look.
Joey's not gay, but he did get the spin-off. Yes, he was
Yeah.
the one that stayed single.
Okay. Which is the first couple? So 2 of the guys and 2 of the girls end up together.
I think you can guess the first couple because it does kind of it does nod to it very early.
It's two. B.
That's
Just
Pointing at Phoebe and Ross. Everyone.
Yeah.
okay. So who's the other couple?
Who's the other couple?
These two.
Huh?
That's Chandler and Rachel.
Rachel.
And which one gets married to another person is Monica by default.
This one. Yeah,
No,
maybe.
Phoebe.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. This
Alright.
is a social experience. Would you like to know that you got Joey correct?
Mm-hmm.
You can just tell me it's fine.
So Ross and Rachel annoyingly break up on and off throughout the whole fucking show and ruin it nearly, but they end up together.
Uh-huh.
And Monica and Chandler, the gay-looking guy, get together halfway through in one of the all-time great moments. I remember this popping when I saw it because it was so funny. Them having sex at Ross's wedding in England, and like that is what I will discuss later. Is my favorite part of Friends is them growing as a relationship and keeping the show together with Joey and Phoebe, while Ross and Rachel just become annoying. It is true.
And
Seriously,
Rachel.
watching Chandler becoming a man from
Yeah.
boy to man is amazing. While watching Ross go from hero to zero is amazing as well. Joey just stays Joey. That's the fucking amazing thing. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Phoebe
I
marries
don't.
a man,
I don't think.
Ant-Man,
Yeah, Phoebe marries Ant-Man.
because he's got a small penis.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd does end up on Friends.
Okay, so Tara.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spoil it, but like, what else have you noticed besides? It's a bit of a weird place to start because I feel like we need to get Tara included because once we go, she's going to be left out. So I kind of want to get as much Tara as possible.
No, it's okay. You can go ahead. Yeah, you can.
Please feel free to make really good remarks when we talk about stuff, though. Please don't be.
Okay. Yeah.
Read some plot stuff ahead. Just go spoil yourself. Just
Uh-huh.
get where we are.
Okay, so I think what I'd be interested in talking about first is like, I'm not really sure how old you guys are. So when did you start watching Friends in real time?
Oh,
10, 11.
damn.
Because
Okay,
I
so
was,
what was
10
happening?
when it premiered on Channel 4, 94, 95. I would be 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I definitely remember Channel 4 grabbed it. I watched it from like the beginning before it kicked off. I watched it the first 6 seasons.
Yeah.
And then Channel 4 ditched it.
Yeah,
But I remember when it got to season 4, they started shooting in the UK. All the public were all over it. It was like the Spice Girls.
God, yeah.
Friends. It was like mental. I remember I kind of just bounced out of season 7 for some reason because I was having sex with women and doing alcohol on the weekends and going to rock clubs. And so I kind of forgot about Friends. But I have come back. I finished it. I have finished it since.
Yeah.
With my wife. So we've watched Friends like maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 3 years. Just from end to end, we skip Ross and Rachel scenes now because they're a waste of time. But like they fucking are. I like Ross and Rachel at the beginning. It just gets to the point of I wish we could move them to other people.
Yeah. So I first started watching, I think, round about when Ross and Rachel were first. So end of series 1 is it when Rachel realizes that Ross likes her?
That
and then
porn,
season
that
2.
porn video.
And season 2, I think, is about like her kind of dealing with Julie, if I remember correctly. And then I remember watching the first kiss between them on a Friday night.
It was really good
at uni.
So
I would have been, 98, 99, watching it with my pals at uni.
I've always been a Chandler fan.
Oh, I love Chandler. He's my favourite.
You're trying to grow.
Joey, I love Joey because Joey stays consistently. But I kind of related to Ross the halfway through. By the time we got to Emily, by the time he's choosing Rachel over Emily, I'm like, bro, you just need to get off that. By the time she's effed up the wedding with by the time we get to season 5, halfway through the run, he says Rachel instead of Emily. I was kind of like, I think this is going to be annoying now. This is actually quite annoying. Either stay together or stop breaking them up because it got to the point.
I think, it's I think Rachel doesn't get enough love as a character.
Because I think
she showed a lot of development. I mean, I think Rachel's development is as profound as Chandler's.
But Chandler didn't fuck it up in the last episode by deciding to, leave for a dinosaur, give up France for a dinosaur guy.
No, he didn't. And that's what annoyed me the most about Rachel's arc.
Jennifer Aniston has actually said she regrets saying they should have stayed separate. She said, I feel like
it was such a backward step for her because she came in first episode, like her whole life had been going in one direction, and then she decided that's not what she wanted anymore. She wanted to go to the city, she wanted to have a life. And it was like, and then why, Rachel's growth was always about her like being a better person. And that's why when she got together with Joey, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but that made sense.
It was interesting. My wife hated it. Because I'm going to bring in a lot of my wife's comments as well, because she watched it a lot with me. If we're bored, we will just pick up Friends. If we've got half an hour working from home and we've got like a quick half an hour, we just kind of start Friends again. We go back from wherever we were, just watch the next episode and start again. She always thinks like the Joey Rachel thing is interesting because they tried to do it to cast doubt. They knew at that point that Ross and Rachel ends the show.
Yeah.
They know season 10 is happening, so they have to plot out how to divert people's expectations. It is funny. Ross is the thing that ruins it all the time, though, because Ross can't just be a dude. He has to be a dickhead all the time. Anytime Rachel's with another guy, even if he's with somebody else, see, Joey's not the problem. Joey and Rachel are not the problem. I feel like because of Ross, Joey's pressured to step down. And I think that's wrong because, like, for example, if Troy dated one of my ex-girlfriends, if it was in a friend group, I'm with my wife, so just go ahead. Like, you got to kind of let that go because that's not your property. That's some person. You don't own it. Even my wife, I don't own.
Yeah.
Like that is a person. This is the problem. Ross's second half of the thing.
Yeah, Ross is
Thank
a
God
douche.
for Tana and Monica, because I would not have finished the show without them, Rachel, Phoebe, and Joey.
Yeah.
Because they keep me interested in watching them slowly grow over the next 5 years.
Mm.
And Janice, we need to talk about Janice. Janice is always used very well.
Janice.
They use her once a season, and they just put her where it needs to be. Janice may be one of the best comedy drop-ins. Big Bang Theory wished it could do this with the comic book store guy.
Big Bang. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think like Joey was supportive of Rachel. He understood her. He knew who she was, not what he loved her for who she was at that moment, not who he had built up in his head. Like the thing with Ross is like Ross had fancied Rachel for so long that he had this idealized image of what she was like and what the relationship was going to be like in his head, and that image didn't involve her like having friendships, it seems, because he got really pissed off when she was friends with Mark, even though he could take her places and take a career somewhere and do lots of good stuff for her. And Ross was just like a really possessive, douchey guy. And then when she was like, I don't want to talk to you about this anymore, he went and slept with a girl from the coffee shop. And I don't care if they were on a break. The terms of the break had not been defined.
I hate it. This is where Ross becomes.
There's times when Ross is genuinely unhinged. Genuinely
he's
unhinged.
An axe murderer, right? He's like a horror movie villain.
Yeah, and then they have like this like really like short-tempered version of him, and I was like, this guy's just Ross. Like, when they have Ross.
My wife has told me if I ever turn into Ross, if she ever hangs out with male friends, she'll personally divorce me right there. I'm not like that. I look at Ross. I say, man, I look at Ross. I've never treated any ex-girlfriend or partner, my current wife, like that ever.
No.
I give them a lot of freedom to be like, you go and do that. That's cool. I'm not threatened by other men.
No.
Hang around my girl. But like watching Ross, and they tried to make it okay. It was never okay.
They tried to make it romantic.
But we have to give the actor credit though, because David Schwimmer has got some of the best comedy faces I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's physical comedy.
There are lots of good moments of Ross where I was pissing myself. The talcum powder is one of my all-time favorite bits. Come on, Alan, you got to give him some of it.
No, I don't give him anything. Not in this.
Wow, nothing, Ellen, nothing.
You know what? Do you know who I judge more? Is I judge Phoebe more, right? Because all of the other one had they had to be friends with Ross, right? Monica's his sister. Chandler went to college with him.
That's an interesting comment.
Joey needs money.
Yeah, Monica and Ross.
Rachel's his ex. Phoebe needn't have anything to do with Ross, but yet she tolerated him, and that's why I judge her.
Oh, damn.
Interesting. See, last time we said it, last time we did this, Troy, we thought Phoebe and Joey were always going to be the ones that ended up. They always gave the group energy, wherever the two couples were doing.
Yeah.
Them floating around was always kind of what you needed. You couldn't put them down for too long, because otherwise the show would have died on its ass a lot sooner than series 5 or 6. Because one of the greatest things ever from series 5 is it's my favorite bit of Friends ever. Is that almost the whole season 5 where they're trying to hide that they're having a relationship from everybody.
Yeah, that's
it gets escalating. It's the golden patch of Friends. Me and my wife still watch it regularly and cry with laughter. Just everybody trying to stop everybody from knowing that they're in a relationship. And even Ross's relationship, Ross's reaction, it's almost like halfway through the season. They cut it off perfectly. And
they don't know that
you my sister.
It's the they don't know that we know that you know that they know that we know, and then they go, don't say anything. Jody's like, couldn't if I wanted to. Or when they're trying to psych out Chandler as well to get him to admit it.
It's so sweet.
And Rachel goes, show him your bra, freak him out.
I love it because like
Oh yeah.
when they saw the crowd's reaction. So thank you to the crowd's reaction for like when they found them in bed because they didn't plan anything. After that, they saw the reaction and went, actually,
Yeah.
people. This is early online as well. This is 99, but the forum's really early. This is like if you're young listening to this, it was like different back then. Like now, it's very complex with social media, instant reactions. You had to dig. You had to go to
Yeah.
forums to find out friends stuff,
Yeah, them days. Oh my god.
hot takes and shit. But like, you had to go to a computer and have dial-up internet. Like, not everybody had that back in the day, man. That was something.
Yeah, you didn't have
Nowadays, you
internet
can
at
just pop
home.
onto Instagram, you'll be sick of it in 5 seconds. But what and YouTube and everything now has changed everything. Like, so basically, that reaction from the crowd about them, I popped. Me and my friends used to watch Friends every Friday, pissed, and we popped.
Yeah.
I was 13. I won't get,
Oh,
but we popped for that episode. Okay, I was pissed from like 13 onwards. It's not that bad. Fuck it. It was right like me.
yeah, I think most of us.
I didn't know. I used to go to my friend's house every Friday night. We would have a few beers or sleep over every Friday night like a religion. Dumb. So, like we were just because we were young, alcohol was very quick on us at that point. So like,
Yeah.
because your body builds up resilience over time, and it doesn't like you getting drunk. So over time, your body just kind of puts barriers up all the time. Anyway, I'm talking bollocks. So basically, when we saw Chandler in bed with Monica, it was like, wow, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because at
Nope.
that point, only Ross and Rachel had done the whole friends set.
Yeah, together. Yeah.
And it
at that
hadn't
point.
been spoiled either a million times, was it? And it hadn't even been hinted at.
No,
Nah,
because there
never
was
know.
no internet at this point. There were spoilers. Nowadays, it would have been spoiled immediately. And we had to wait for it. So thank God the internet didn't exist back then because that's one of the all-time jaw droppers of.
Came out at the perfect
Oh,
time. Like,
that's
oh my god,
him and Monica.
that was amazing. That review was
It was
fire.
amazing.
14-year-old me was
Fire.
like,
I was like, what the heck? But when you see it, it's like you're like, what? And then afterwards, you're like, oh, it makes sense. You're like, kind of like, oh, okay, makes sense. Yeah, afterwards,
Then
when you see
season
it.
5 opened and it was them continuing it. And I was so happy that it wasn't just a thing that you were going to blow off. It was like, oh, this shit continues.
It's consistent.
What Friends is I love is you have to watch everything in order because it keeps stuff remembering stuff. And a lot of comedy shows don't do that. You can literally watch any comedy show, and it will forget. Go pick up any episode of Seinfeld or Big Bang Theory. Literally, shit doesn't matter from week to week. Oh,
I'm sorry, but I don't think you can mention Seinfeld and The Big Bang Theory in the same breath.
No, Seinfeld. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I knew it was going to get him. I knew it.
Seinfeld.
Come on, mate.
No, Big Bang Theory is shit. But Seinfeld is very good.
Bazinga.
One-on-one. Let's move on, Helen. Seinfeld is fantastic. You can watch any episode; it's amazing. Friends is very good at continuing it. It rewards long-term fans.
Yeah, there was a semi-consistent thread. Like,
Yeah.
I think Monica had about 4 first kisses, and
How many boyfriends did Phoebe have?
well, Phoebe's timeline was all over the place as well, and
Origin story was so fascinating because they just kept adding to it, and it was after a while like, really? There's more.
It was like a legend with Phoebe.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is going on? Like, is this real or what? What is going on here?
Yes,
mythical.
it was weird. It was interesting. Phoebe is
Half the time I
like,
was like, I can't believe you.
They
Half the time
introduced
she was talking about.
they introduced the twin sister fairly early on, though, didn't they? Because Lisa
From another
Kudrow
show.
was in another show,
Hmm.
and they wanted people to kind of not be confused, so she had an in-universe secret twin, or like that she didn't speak to, which was a bit weird. But there we go. Who ended up
another show apparently.
Who ended up doing adult movies under her name?
No, but did you know that the character was?
Yeah, it was Mad About You. Yeah, she was playing a waitress called Ursula in Mad About
so
You. Wasn't she?
clever. That was so clever.
Oh my god.
Yeah, loved it. But yeah, no. What was I going to say about Phoebe? I really liked Phoebe. She was, I think Lisa Kudrow seems like a really good person. Like, I think I'd quite like to hang out with her.
She was in that Mary Lee, that Macy May. Oh, I can't remember the Canadian gay comedian who had that show with Charlotte Ritchie. She was in it as the mother of the.
Oh, Mae Martin.
Yeah.
Feel Good.
That's that. I was so. Me and my wife were like, when we saw her, we were like, yes, Lisa Kudrow.
She's got another sitcom called The Comeback, where she plays this kind of woman that used to be in a soap, like an old soap actress. I know, that comes back to like a younger version of the same soap, but instead of playing the young girl, she's playing like the landlady of the beach house, and it's a fake docudrama about her like getting famous again, and you know all the different. It's really good. It's so good, and Lisa Kudrow is so funny, so funny in it. It's really worth your time. Like, I think she's a really underrated actress.
Yeah, she is. Definitely is.
But
Surprised she hasn't made any more stuff, to be honest.
and she beat up Ross when he was a kid, so you know Phoebe's got some good sides as well, you know.
Oh, Phoebe, man, Phoebe. I was like, she was my favorite character of the whole show. Phoebe's always my favorite. I was like, where's Phoebe at? And I was watching Friends. I was like, where's Phoebe? Oh, TV plays. When I was younger. Oh, Phoebe, man. She was the comic, but she was layered, but she was the comic relief for the show. She was like the main. I feel whenever something got heavy, she'd come out of nowhere and start singing something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we needed this.
My favorite Phoebe moment is probably when Ross is practicing the bagpipes for Monica and Chandler's wedding.
Yeah, okay.
And it's terrible, and then she starts singing along with it.
That's true.
And she's got like a perfectly straight face, and everybody else like.
Oh my god.
Rachel's got her hand over her mouth. Everybody else, you can see their shoulders going, but Phoebe's just going. Like just having the time of her life. Like I'm literally cracking up just thinking about it. Like it is so fun.
God. That's what makes her so funny. It's just this straight face when she's doing it. She's like so serious when she cracks a joke or does something funny. I'm like, oh my god, set me off. Oh my god.
Trying to think. Oh, Phoebe, yeah. No, but yeah, watch The Comeback. It is some seriously good television. I was really,
Yeah, anything with Phoebe and the guitar, I'm there for it in Friends.
She's such a treasure.
I'm there for it. Give it to me. I'll say, give it to you all episode. I don't care. Give it to me. Phoebe guitar.
Yeah.
Making up lyrics. Oh gosh, but yeah, she's the best. So what else? She want to come out.
So, Troy, what do you want to talk about? Because you've not really said much so far.
I've been piggybacking most of what you guys have been saying, really, because the only thing I want to talk about is literally Phoebe, but Helen's kind of covered Phoebe mostly, so.
Oh no, she got more to say. I was just like, just talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, throughout the show, I thought she should have gotten a little bit more in the show because she was kind of like, as you said before, floating around a bit, and it was kind of like probably midway through the show, she kind of like started to disappear a little bit, and I was like, because Ross and Rachel garbage started to take over to do that much. And I was like, oh freak. Phoebe ain't got much character development in the show, and I was like, all right.
But like Joey,
can't go over it.
But like Joey, she always had that great gag. I remember when Chandler and Monica got married. She started making alliances with Joey and Ross, which one to marry.
Yeah.
And for a while, when we were coming up to the end of season 10, me and my wife totally thought that they would do the boring thing of all six of them married off, and that they were definitely going to go there and Phoebe.
Yeah.
But they didn't, which is good writing, at least, because that would be the most boring one.
See, I like Mike. I like Mike. Okay. He's a very good character, but I didn't love that ending for Phoebe.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. Like, the whole thing about Phoebe was that she didn't fit the kind of mold that everybody
yes.
else was in. Like, you know, although that to a certain extent they were outside, a lot of them were outsiders. Like Monica and Ross were massive geeks, you know.
Gellar ball.
Chandler was Chandler, and
What's his job?
like Phoebe was just a bit different, and she kind of brought a bit of balance into her lives and stopped being so kind of middle class, I think.
Yeah.
And I could never really understand why she was friends with them, and they kind of did address that at some point. Like there's an episode where like they're trying to freeze out Jennifer Coolidge, and
yes. God, Jennifer Coolidge.
You must think I'm a perfect ass.
Oh,
but
my God.
And then Monica kind of realizes that Phoebe tried to freeze her out.
Yeah.
And she's like, you were scrappy, you held on. And I was like, yeah, but she was no way. Like, if this was real, Phoebe would not be round there. Like, Phoebe would be like, oh yeah, that's somebody that I used to live with, but she's a bit uptight, so you know, I'm not going to hang around there. Like, and I think they made Phoebe, although Phoebe like married Mike and it was a lovely wedding, all that stuff, but like the whole like marriage and kids thing, I didn't feel real for her. Like I think Phoebe would have, like, because like then they were like, oh, let's make one of them, and I think Phoebe would be a bit more. I think Phoebe's more likely to try and adopt 17 orphans that have all kind of come from the same boat wreck and put them all in a mansion somewhere, rather than having a baby with Paul Rudd.
My wife pointed it out. She found it doesn't feel like Phoebe though. It kind of, she said, out of the people at the end of the finale, she said it doesn't feel like Phoebe would get married and that Rachel would give up everything for Ross. The other four,
definitely.
Ross trying to get Rachel, even David Schwimmer. He agrees with Jennifer Aniston. It should have ended with Jennifer Aniston saying, Rachel saying, "I wish you the best of luck. Go find your new Rachel." Something like that. They both argued for it to the writers, and the writers were like, we need two couples at the end.
We're going to work for. I'm going to work for Louis Vuitton. I'm staying on the plane, regardless of the phalange situation. And yeah, I am going to France. Screw you, Ross Gellar. Or you come to France and stop being a dick. Stop making me make myself smaller to make you feel comfortable. Ross.
Which is the name of my brother. I hate that name.
Ross. I like Ross though. I like Ross. That's a good character. Ross is a great disruptor.
Troy, have you met my brother? I think you have.
Yeah, I met him, yeah.
Was it a good meeting?
It was a good meeting. It was cool.
Yeah, I remember. We went to a pub in Tooting, I think.
Remember, I met him, yeah.
Yeah, he got on really well with you. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Good times.
Cool guy.
Good guy. He's all right. He's not done bad as a father. I mean, this is something he's going to laugh at. So I'm just going to put it on blast. I think his wife already knows. Before he met his wife, he was at Lothario, so we're really glad he got married. We were concerned. So well done. You've got a child. Don't do what our father did and run away from that. My dad doesn't listen to this podcast. My brother will pop for it now, so it's fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He will be laughing right now.
He will like,
he's a good dad.
Like, my brother put me over. Ben put me over.
I think I've, even on the 150th, I'm still massacring you, Troy. That's the problem. I'm still cutting you off.
That's going to be my
whore.
I doing what?
I was going to make a joke about how Troy Salmon thinks that's how real Japanese people kiss. Because I've watched a lot of Japanese comedies recently. And it will happen next week. I'll get into it. But they tend to kiss really weirdly on TV. Like awkwardly. And Manami gets quite annoyed about it, my wife. She gets really annoyed about it because she's like, Japanese people don't kiss like that. I don't know why it's so childish. Kissu, like, you know. It's always hilarious. I think that I was going to make an intro if this is 151 because we missed a week. I was going to make a joke about how Troy Salmon thinks that's how real people kiss, but I won't make it now. Have to come up with something else next week.
Oh my gosh.
I watch too much radar movies. I know what Lucas look like. Oh god.
So what about Chandler? Because what is Chandler's job?
He's a transponder.
Oh yes.
I love the fact that they keep coming back to the fact. What is your job?
The transport. I love that. That gag is amazing in that show.
What is your job?
What is your job? What do you do?
Such a good joke.
What do you do? What the heck is your job? It's just like, yeah, man.
It's when he goes missing on his wedding day and he's hiding in his office because he knows that nobody knows where it is.
Oh my god. Oh yes. 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 So the episode, I remember the episode, oh my days.
Yeah.
When they're trying to when they literally go to his workplace to try and find him.
Like, what floor is he on?
Yeah. That was all funny, bro. When they like didn't they get locked in like a closet or something, like a room that he tried to run away from him. He tried to hide or something like that. I can't remember how it went now. Oh man,
is that not when he was sleeping with Rachel's boss and she handcuffed him to the cabinet?
And his face is like,
Yeah.
when he got taken to the cabinet.
And it's like Rachel says to him, no, he says, don't go anywhere. And he goes,
yeah. Yeah, it's like, he can't go nowhere. Can't go nowhere.
And it was on the intro for the next season, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, the next episode. Oh my god, that was amazing. That was fine. I love that. Bro. Oh my god.
That's Matthew Perry.
Yeah, he had some problems at the time. And that's the thing, Tara, if you're going to continue to watch it, one of the saddest things about Friends is like every series Matthew Perry looks like a different person because he's just cycling through loads of kinds of addictions and stuff.
And he's still here with us is amazing.
Yeah, like that man.
The human body, right? Apparently he was getting drunk for 5-6 years to still be able to be alive today is insane. The human body can take a lot of abuse, but over time, like it's so amazing he's still here and he's here with us. But you can see how red. Knowing it now, me and my wife noticed.
You can notice it, yeah,
because he's so red.
Like you can see the seasons when he's drinking. You can see the seasons when he's on uppers. Like it's quite stark when you look at them together.
Because alcoholics obviously have really red skin.
Yeah, but he had pills as well at some point as well. So there was a couple of seasons where he was on like uppers all the time.
Yeah, he was.
And he was like he's like a rake. Like he's like his face is all hollow and when he was on the reunion a few years ago, like he could barely speak. It was really difficult to watch.
To say I think he's going to have a short life now. I hate to say it, but that type of stuff tends to catch up with you at some point.
Well, he has said that he should be dead by rights, really, shouldn't he? He said that himself. It's bad, man. Drugs are bad. Addiction's horrible. But
Yeah. I mean,
I think the other thing to say as well is like they were so famous. Like
that's the thing.
In the 90s, late 90s, early noughts, they were everywhere and they were ridiculously famous and they were like pulling in $1 million an episode each or something.
Yeah, $1 million episode. Yeah, so it was $1 million episode.
By the end, they were they all went together as well. This is what I like. They all stick by Matthew Perry still. Apparently, he fell off the wagon recently again, and they put money together to keep him back into rehab, which is lovely. The 6 of them always went together to make sure that they all paid the same together.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
When you see the reunions, the 6 of them together, you can just see the love that they have.
Yeah, paid equally, man. That's how it should be, man.
They read a really good unofficial book on Friends. And it's really interesting to see how close they were and like the discussions they had and stuff. It's a good book. It's like £5 a shop, I found.
Because a show like that as well, that kind of fame, you think because so much stuff could happen in that show, drama everywhere could have easily happened like on that show.
Yeah.
They all stuck together.
No show's been it like it since. No comedy has had the level of Friends. People go Big Bang Theory? No. Friends. We don't talk about Big Bang Theory. How many people keep talking about Big Bang Theory now? It's gone. Nobody talks about it. Friends has stayed. Obviously, there are things, lack of non-white people. There is a lot of gay jokes that don't land
Okay,
quite well.
yeah, I think we would be doing it a disservice if we didn't talk about how problematic some of it is now.
Some of it, like when Ross and Rachel have a baby, and Ross has a problem with the fact that the guy is gay, is a very big problem.
He doesn't have a fact that he assumes he's gay because he's a man and he's a nanny. That's the thing. It's not that
That's what I mean, though.
Yeah,
and anytime Joey had a handbag, it was a problem, and it was just like any gay stuff. Whoa, like it's not aged well. But the annoying thing is, they handled the lesbian relationship with Ross's ex-wife and the partner pretty well.
I don't know if they handled it well. The fact that they had it was quite a big deal.
Than gay men, though, at least.
The fact that they had it was quite a big deal at the time. Like, and I think we need to be that, but it wasn't really handled well. Like it was like, this woman stole my wife kind of thing, and Ross was very, very jealous and very mean about it too. Like it was treated like a joke as well. Like Ross was so stupid he didn't realize that his wife was a lesbian. Like.
But then, first time I ever heard the word lesbian was Friends, so it broke it more down.
It broke that much, but I think just because it's representation doesn't mean it's good representation. I think
no, Friends is not good at representation. Let's be honest. I don't think the writers should say we're in a difficult spot now where the writers are feeling like they have to apologize for not diversity thing, and I can see that there is a stunning lack of no black. Okay, so Ross dates, I think, one Asian actress at one point, one black actress, and everybody else is white, basically. This is a stunningly white show.
Well, they literally brought Aisha Tyler in just to.
Yeah, it's just not a good book. It hasn't aged well in diversity. I will give it that, because Manami, my wife's Asian, she's even gone, this wouldn't go on TV now. I was like, yeah, I know. So,
but
we've had it.
Sometimes.
So me and my wife, because I've looked at it from her perspective, I can totally see it now. I can really, really, really. 2023 Ben, 1998 Ben had no problem with different backgrounds being in shows, but I wouldn't have questioned how many white people were in Friends. I wouldn't have minded if there was a black or an Asian or a Middle Eastern character in there. I'd be like, cool. But I feel like, seeing it from my wife's eyes, there's no, outside of Jenny, which is the first proper Ross girlfriend of the season.
Julie,
thank you. I thought it was Jenny. Julie, thank you. Me Julie, Ali G reference right there. Yes, bang. Basically, it hasn't aged that well with diversity. I'm gonna be honest with you. The black girlfriend they give Ross is done quite well. It's not a stereotype.
They give her to Joey first, though. Remember, because she has to be shared around.
Yeah, I know, but they tend to do that to cause drama. But they don't. What I like is there's no Asian or black stereotype, at least on them. At least.
I think there's a.
Maybe I'm being too white here, but like it's not the worst thing I've seen.
There are a lot of incidental sassy black women.
Okay, that's
in kind of roles. So I'm thinking about when Ross works at the museum, like he makes friends when nobody's speaking to him. He befriends a sassy black woman who does all the sassing for him, and there are a lot of people who like take fall or are there to move the plot along, which isn't great, really.
So, Troy, you've seen the whole thing. How do you feel looking at it now as a black man? I want to get your feelings on it now, like in 2023.
Hey, I'm not fussed. I never cared about stuff like that anyway. So I watch my TV shows.
Well, exactly. Yeah, we can.
I never cared.
Not going to.
To be honest, more the people who are complaining about it are the people like, or the white people themselves. I don't really care about stuff like that.
But I've always argued it's a good thing to look at it and question it. So this is a good thing. People complaining about it is a good thing because in the future we're going to do better with it.
because at the time that's what he did. So at the time I was like whatever. But nowadays, yeah, I can say something.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not annoyed that people are complaining about the fact that in the past Friends was lack of diversity. Call it out because you're right to do that. But present day, we can use that to make it better going forward. We should always remember where we've come from, look at that and go, we've not done good with that. Can we do better going forward?
Don't really.
Is Helen agreeing with me over here?
Well, no, I mean, I think I know what you're saying, but I think like we've got to respect the fact that Troy's not bothered by it. Like, you know,
because I watch a lot of shows. Even right now, I watch a lot of shows where it's just literally a strictly black cast. Especially nowadays, I watch a lot of them.
Yeah, I can watch.
So right now, that stuff don't bother me.
Also, I just think what bothers me more, and it's not the lack of representation that bothers me, it's the fact that they had this platform and they had this audience and they had like this, they were everywhere, they were in pretty much every home at one point. Like, they could have broadened their horizons a little bit in that respect. Like, you know, I think a lot of things would be a lot more. I mean, you can't say like, oh yeah, we've done this, you know, we've got a lesbian wedding. We're the first lesbian wedding on television, isn't that great? But then we're still making homophobic jokes in series 10.
That is true. Gay males are given a hand.
They did their best to try and improve their diversity, but I think it's very much a microcosm of what American television was like at that time.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
Can I just say one thing?
It is what it is, and I think like we can't say. I think the lack of diversity isn't. I mean, I'm not going to say the lack of diversity. I'm going to choose my words very carefully here. I think the lack of diversity is something that was very of its time and of its era. Like, American television was still very much a segregated affair in that time period. So
this is my point.
It doesn't stand out from other television shows of that time.
My point.
What does stand out to me now if I watch it, if I ever catch it, is the homophobia, the sexism, and the fat phobia.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Monica.
Right, because it's like
being
like, because all of these things don't matter, because if you're fat, you're stupid, you're ridiculous, you're greedy, and being fat is the worst thing in the world. And you know, it's for comedy, and if we've got 3 minutes to fill at the end, we're just going to put Courtney Cox in a fat suit and we're all going to laugh at her thinking that she might be sexy.
I laugh at that scene at Ross's afro moustache. I don't laugh at Courtney Cox. Me and my wife laughed at Ross with the perm and the moustache and the keyboard. You laugh at that, but you look at Courtney Cox and you just go.
And we also don't. What was also really stark as well is that nobody ever discusses the fact that Monica is psychologically abused by her mother.
Yeah,
this is true. Can I just make one more point, Helen? Sorry, I just want to say how Troy felt about all white people and Friends when he watched it. I always had I have a similar approach to Troy. Like when I watched all black cast in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I was just like, cool, this is brilliant. I'm just going to watch this. This show makes me laugh. Cool. Okay. Brilliant. Funny. And I do like a mix now, but I can still, like Troy, I can still watch non-white shows and appreciate. From back then, there were black shows that were funnier. It was just as funny as the white people shows. Desmond's. Do you remember the Desmond's on Channel 4?
I mean, I think it's a bit of it's getting into dangerous territory to say that one is funnier than the other. I think it's
no, I'm not saying it's funnier. I'm just saying it's
but I think when
classic.
When you compare them, and I think, but the thing
what you're saying is classes are divided into only whites and all blacks back in the day. I get your point.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think what I'm saying is that I think that a lot of the people who get offended. No, I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here.
No. Just say it, Helen.
I know. I'm not worried about you guys. I'm worried about everybody that's listening, to be quite honest. But I think people who are not actively anti-racist themselves can say, well, I don't watch Friends because I don't like the lack of diversity, and that's the beginning and their end of their anti-racism. You know, I think like it's a very like I'm an ally. I don't watch Friends because there's no black people in it. Is not being an ally. And standing up and saying like, I don't think this is right. You know, isn't being actively anti-racist in a country where, you know, we're making jokes about marijuana and Ross blaming it on Chandler when he was smoking a joint, where in a country where if Chandler was black, he would have gone to prison because Ross lied about him smoking his joint. Right? And people still are in prison in America for possession of marijuana in states where it's illegal, and they're, you know, more likely to be non-white than white.
Come to the UK, you can smoke it for free. We don't arrest you here.
They will if they want to.
You still get picked
You can
up.
smell that fucking thing. Trust me.
If the police want to pick you up for it, they will pick you up.
Yeah, they'll pick you up. If they want to get you, they'll get you.
Trust me, the police will find it easy.
No, if they want to get you, they'll pick you up.
That might be some people's experience, but you know, this is a country where a 15-year-old girl was strip searched at school because she smelled a bit like weed.
Yeah,
so
if they want to be weird, they'll get you.
If they want to, yeah, they will arrest you for it. So, yeah, I think that the lack of diversity in Friends is an issue, and but it's a time capsule. And
exactly,
but I still see the issues of homophobia, of toxic masculinity, you know, of transphobia. You know, Chandler's dad is a big like, ooh, yeah, no, ooh. And fat phobia is still there's still stereotypes that are being perpetuated now that actively harm people.
Okay, can I just throw in here, Helen?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to debate you on something.
Go on.
Now, I don't want to be. I'm not us versus America.
Okay.
Not other American viewers.
Oh
so
God, this Ben's gonna drop some bombs now.
I'm not going to hold up, because in England we've still got a lot of problems, representation, minorities still, where there's typical stereotypical things still happening. We've got a long way to go, as America has as well. Hold the fire. So there is a show in Japan called Full House and Fuller House.
Okay.
So Netflix brought it back as Fuller House when my wife started to live with me. And the problem is, it's all white people, wall to wall. And I look at that now, and what I find interesting is we don't like, you look at Friends, and you look at this new one, and you're like, thinking back on our conversations today, I've looked at it and gone, where is any non-white character in this show? Because that is a very white show. Like, there's not even a character of color anywhere of note at all that comes in during the 5 seasons. My wife loves it, but not once have I heard, like, she doesn't complain about diversity in Friends. She's accepted it for, as you said, Helen, a capsule of that was the time.
I think that was kind of what Troy was saying rather than.
That's what basically, yeah. That's what I was saying.
Okay, what Troy said.
I'm going to give Troy the credit for that one.
What I'm saying is, but regularly, I'm going to ask my wife when she comes back to Japan. She's here in this episode, so she knows that I'm going to have the conversation when I go to Japan in 10 days, when we record this. Why is Fuller House funny to you? But why is it okay to have all white cast here? That's a thing that I want to look at, because that's something
I think that might be to do with when it was made rather than.
No, but they brought it back. I say Netflix second season. Full House is the original. Fuller House is a sequel.
Right.
So this is recent. So you have a chance. Loads of new characters have been introduced to the house. Not one of them is non-white.
That's
So
a
you've
bit
had the opportunity to add some diversity in there. You haven't. Still, I cannot name you a non-white character that has made an impact on me in that show. I don't think it's funny, but the point is, there's still a long way to go.
Fuller House. Did you say it was a Japanese show?
No, it's an American show
Okay.
that is popular for some reason in America. It's
Ah.
the original run from 1988 to 1985. Bob Saget was in it.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
insanely popular. Then Friends took over, and that was the big American show.
Fuller House. Oh, Fuller House. Yeah.
Full House, then it was Friends. Then they handed it over to Big Bang Theory and How's Your Mother, and they ran off of it. So anyway, Fuller House is a show recently from Netflix that could have been the big game changer, but they kept all the white. They just kept all the characters pretty much white.
I don't know. I can't answer that because I don't know the show.
But
and
it's
I don't know.
not a good thing to say. And there's diversion of like we've been diverse. Do you not?
I mean, I think unless the lack of diversity is part of the so I'm thinking of like something like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
It's about a show about white trash. So the cast is maybe, could be. It's not very diverse, but it's because they're horrible people. And that's made very, very clear. Like, we're not friends with people because we're not very nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuller House is kind of like a kind of type of casual type show, anyways. Kind of, so they kept it as it was, I guess.
My argument, though, is though, Troy, Fuller House now in 2017 onwards for 5 years.
Yeah.
We are now in the zeitgeist of if there was a friendly reboot tomorrow, there would be more diverse characters to change it up because they've listened and we've learnt.
See, I don't know if there would be if they made Friends, like if they did a Friends reboot. Like, I think.
No, I said Friends, if they brought Friends back.
Yeah, but I don't know because it's. Yeah, I think they would like. I think maybe incidental characters might change, but because of the way that everybody's related to each other, I'm not sure they're. I'm not sure that they would, and I'm not sure that they would be able to do it without trying to shoehorn it in.
That's the thing with something like Friends. I'm with Helen on that. Because if something like Friends, it ain't gonna work. Simple as that. It's not gonna work.
Because
they'll be off maybe a couple episodes or a season. That's gonna be cancelled.
Because they've got they're middle class people with very middle class problems, and the realist it gets is when the people who are kind of working more manual jobs are like, I can't afford to keep up with the people who are working in blue collar jobs.
There's that episode. So
yeah, they do an episode about it,
Ross,
but it never gets brought up again.
Ross, Chandler, Monica. They halve it down the middle. Monica, Chandler, Ross. Right, they're the ones that are the high earners.
Yeah, and then
Joey,
Rachel,
Phoebe, and they feel that there's that imbalance, right?
Yeah, and then Rachel manages to somehow climb the fashion career ladder in the space of a 4 or 5 episode arc, and suddenly it's not an issue for her anymore.
Yeah, I did notice that.
But it's like
the fuck. Like,
yeah, it's like yeah, and Joey gets a decent gig. So Phoebe's the only one that really doesn't have a fixed income, and that's all like it's but she never gets ill, so insurance is never an issue. Like it's very the whole thing about Friends is it's supposed to be escapist and it's supposed to be aspirational. And if they were being real, it wouldn't be either of those things. And I think.
Can we quickly talk about the children, Ben and Emma?
Right.
Yeah.
What about him?
What do you think about Ben's development?
What, he's not allowed to play with dolls?
Yeah, we're being negative now, aren't we? Because the Barbie Action Man thing is nowadays that's like you play with what you want. Yeah, I look at it and it's Ross being a massive prick again.
Yeah, I mean, so if we want to go on a I'm trying to think of a positive thing to go on, because like as you know, by the end Phoebe was the only one who was really like not on a middle class income, and they did treat her like she was some kind of pet
Yeah.
most of the time.
At least Ben had a journey. Emma, when she was born by Rachel, was never on TV. So my wife turned to me and was like, "Where is the baby?" I was like, "Don't know." Because the baby is never fucking there, ever. Hardly at the time.
They have a
Ghost
couple of
baby.
episodes.
Yeah, it's barely there, mate.
Well-
Barely there. There's that weird episode of Ross and Rachel get really annoyed that everybody has to leave the Emma's birthday party.
Yeah.
Such a weird episode. It's just they're both at that point. Rachel has become as bad as Ross by the end of the run, like a complete dickhead. It's really weird.
Oh, Ross and Rachel, man.
And I think as well, like, you know, but the thing is like it's a comedy, so I think the chances that they had to kind of be real were not taken, because they went, like, the fact that Rachel comes back to work while she's like literally still like got a baby's leg hanging out of her foot is treated as a joke, and it's like, no, in America you get 4 weeks off work if you have a baby. Sometimes it's 2 weeks.
Exactly.
You can't separate a puppy from its mother in America until they're 12 weeks old. But humans are supposed to go back to work 2 weeks after giving birth.
Here in England, we're a lot better at that.
We are. And that's the thing, but like that's played for laughs. And I think maybe one of the things that, so with things like saying, oh, it's not very diverse, it's sometimes played for laughs, and that's fine, because that's the kind of show it is. It's not really there to be teaching us lessons, but it's about visibility, and it's about the way that people are treated.
Can I ask you as a woman, Helen? Because do you think Friends does enough with the female characters?
Absolutely not.
Okay,
You've got
each one break down what they do right and what's wrong. Let's go.
No,
So,
right.
Monica.
Okay. So, right, Monica is not treated as sexual until she loses weight, and then anytime we want to desexualize Monica, we remember that she's fat. She has very real issues with perfectionism that stem from the fact that her mother is overly critical all the time, and this is played for laughs.
Yeah.
Her boxes of her childhood stuff was literally used to keep her dad's car safe when the garage flooded, and keep Ross's boxes safe. Right, this is somebody who is not loved and respected by her family in the way that she should be. And when she tries to speak up about it, they call her a control freak and they laugh at her. So that's Monica.
What did they do right with Monica?
What was interesting is how she coped when she lost her job early on. So she was a chef. She was doing, and she had to take a lower paid job and work in a different area and work in a different way, and she coped with that really well. Yes. I also really liked her relationship with Pete, who was played by what's his face, Jon Favreau, when she realized that the relationship was self-destructive, and she was like only loving him because she wanted to fix him, and he would never be fixed and all that stuff. And I think he was really vital in her getting together with Chandler, because she was like, right, I don't want a project, I want a soulmate, because she got a project and that was horrible. He wanted to become an ultimate fighter. So that and I think she did grow as a person. Like, she learned to let go. She learned to let other people kind of take the lead. She, became a mother by being honest and open and showing her emotions. And I think she was allowed to be less self-critical and repaired some of her relationship with her mother, but not all of it. As a woman. Phoebe, as I said earlier on, I think that they kept her the way. By the end of it, they were treating her like a pet, or like, let's bring this eccentric relative around to our house. You love this woman. She'll come to our dinner party. She's very, very, very entertaining. And I think that when they treated her like a pet, instead of being like, absolutely screw this, I'm off, she kind of played up to it, which really kind of was like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on, that's not what Phoebe would do. Like the bit when they're arranging a party for somebody and like their Phoebe's like, well, I can help, And they're like, oh yeah, you can be in charge of cups and ice. Like, you know, like they don't trust her.
The basics, like do that, just get out of
And
the way,
then
basically.
she comes out and it's like there's an ice fountain and there's like a cup sculpture. I was like, yeah, but I like the flex,
Yes.
but absolutely fuck them for making you do that, right? They had an episode where they were like, she was meeting Mike's parents and she decided to try and be middle class. And then that was all played for laughs. And then she actually did that in the end, which was stupid because like Mike loves her because she's mad, not because she's like potentially very middle class. And like she just turns into a Stepford wife in the last episode. It's like, yeah, let's have a child and move off to the suburbs. It's like, no, that's not what Phoebe does.
No, I felt betrayed by that in the most of the last episode.
Phoebe's gonna start a commune. Rachel, I think, why would you spend 10 seasons taking a Long Island airhead who is about to marry a dentist and has a whole life laid out of her, and then pull that rug out from underneath her when she realizes that's not what she wants? Watch her go through 10 series of learning to respect herself, like learning that she's not a princess, learning how to work hard, learning the value of things, learning how to stand on her own 2 feet, spending all that time getting on her feet, finding out what she wants to do, loving what she does, getting into relationships where that people are jealous and controlling and they don't value her, learning her worth, learning that she's good at stuff, making her way in a male-dominated field and like being very good at it, and then getting your dream job at Louis Vuitton in Paris, packing to go, and you leave that all behind for Ross fucking Gellar.
They divorced immediately after the episode. I'm calling it.
That is my problem with Rachel. She should be with Joey, laughing all day long, having a lovely time.
My wife watched the end of Friends with me for the first time a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When we got to the end, she went, because it totally looks like Rachel has got on that plane to just done. And she went, you bitch. I was like, because she's seeing me already like this. I'm not a poker face person. So she's looking at me. I can see my wife up on the right side of my eye looking at me like for reaction. I'm like this. So she knows Rachel's turning up in this scene, I think.
It's classic Ross. Like he sees Rachel doing well and he wants to destroy it.
Yes.
That has been the pattern all the way through the whole thing. Like Rachel's doing well. All right, how can I screw this up? Rachel's got her foot in the ladder at a company. Cool. I'm going to get really jealous when it comes to her coworker. Rachel's having a really good time in Vegas. All right, I'm going to marry her, then not divorce her. Like it's just
that bit. There's no need. Phoebe called him out on that bit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, I didn't do it because I don't want to be the man that's been divorced 3 times. Well, maybe Rachel doesn't want to be the man that's married to Ross Gellar. Like
that's it. That's it.
Why just undo all of that hard work in like I got off the plane 5 words. 5 words.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's all screwed. It's done. Yeah, it's
buried. I've never seen a character get so buried by just turning up somewhere. It's like, oh Jesus.
But it's like a horror film, though, isn't it? It's like when you see the final girl nearly getting away from the axe killer, isn't it? And then just at the last minute, like the door's shut, he's dead. Like you think he's dead, you can't see him. It's all quiet, and then the hand just comes up, and it's like, nah.
Oh my god, that story is crazy, rough.
And the other thing I think with Monica and Chandler is that Monica was always looking for perfect.
Yes.
And she then realized that with Chandler, she realized that perfect didn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
And like, I would rather work on this Because there's that moment
That
as well
felt
where
real. That kept me
Yeah.
going.
But that's the thing. There was a moment as well when Phoebe's like, "I've met your soulmate. Like, I've dated this guy, and he's your soulmate." And like Chandler gets really stressed out, doesn't he? Because he's like, he is, because he like loves cheese, and they talk about France and all that stuff.
They
And she
have
was
not
like, "Yeah,
yet
but
said that they are a couple as well.
yeah." And then she's like, "But I don't believe in soulmates. Like, perfect doesn't exist. We work at this, and this is good, and we've made it what we want it to be." And yeah, I love that for her.
Yeah, Monica, one of the wholesome, probably my most wholesome character in the show, to be honest, Monica.
But they
Doesn't
did her dirty. They did her dirty a couple of times. Like, they made her into a shrew a couple of times.
Yeah, it's true. They did.
She was always forced to be the adult.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that, because it's like Ross is always the golden child in the family, and then she has to come and be his mum again with her friends.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She was the mom of the house, basically.
Yeah.
Basically she was. The whole show, she's like, really? Really? You gotta do this? I gotta clean this up, what's going on there? Like, come on, be serious for a minute, just for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole show, and I was like, go on, Monica, you tell her.
But yeah, that and everybody treated Janice very poorly.
She is one of the funniest side characters in any comedy ever. They use it so. Hold up. Can we talk about Gunther? Please.
I like Gunther. He's
If
good.
Rachel had ended up season 10 in Gunther's arms, giving a finger to Ross, that would have been the best ending ever.
And Ross is going, but he works in a coffee shop, because Ross is a horrible snob.
Don't care. Gunther.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we just all remember when Ross shagged his like ridiculously younger student for a little while as well, while he was a university professor? Because that seems to we just seem to have forgotten about that as well.
Anytime he dated a student as well.
That's the one I'm talking about. That was a student, yeah.
Weird.
Damn, I forgot about
Let's talk about the relationships then. So there is one time Chandler is dating a girl that Joey likes. Was it the other way around?
Other way around.
Other way around, yeah.
Other way around. How do you feel about Joey's relationships? Because he's the one that doesn't really get into long-term relationships next to Phoebe. How do you think Phoebe and Joey do with their on-off romances throughout the season? Because they don't really stick to people.
I think Joey is he's kind of womanizing for laughs, and a lot of the time I don't think he's ever predatory, but he's a bit creepy a couple of times. It's like,
how you doing?
Yeah,
you
just
say that now because you get stunned.
But you wouldn't. But it's like, stop coming on to your friends. Yeah.
And the balls.
And it's like when I can't remember the name of the girl as well, that Chandler kisses. He's more upset about the betrayal than he is about the fact that she's cheated on him. Like,
yeah.
And that's understandable. Oh God, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Alice can't remember it.
Is it Australian?
No, that was when Elle Macpherson was in the show.
No,
No, it was very early on, and Chandler fell in love with his girlfriend, and they did a kind of Gerard de Bergerac thing for a little while, where like Chandler was getting him gifts to give to her because he'd been watching her and listening to her.
Oh, the book.
Yeah, the Velveteen Rabbit.
Wow, that was a moment. Wow.
And then he kisses her, and then Joey gets really upset about the betrayal, which is fine, And I think.
You remember Joey's roommate thing when Chandler left? It was hilarious for a while because Joey had roommates.
Yeah, and he had Eddie, who was a psychopath, and then he had Elle Macpherson.
Yeah.
And then Rachel. But the other thing as well is that they gaslit Eddie, who was the first flatmate that Chandler had. They just pretended that he didn't live there anymore. They were like, no, I don't know who you are. It wasn't nice.
That was the first or second episode, wasn't it?
I can't remember. No, it wasn't that early.
No, it's season 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eddie, man. Eddie, forgot about Eddie.
He seemed to write a bit weird, a bit off, but he wasn't given a fair chance.
Yeah, it's kind of off screen.
Okay,
I think.
so I'm just going to talk about. I've just remembered another Ross Gellar scumbag moment, right?
Oh, snap.
So
This is a We Hate Ross Gellar podcast.
So there's a bit where
Podcast.
Chandler's moving out to live with Monica, and he knows that Joey's not going to have money to pay the rent. So in order to help to give Joey money that he, without making Joey feel like he's taking money, is he makes up a card game and plays Joey at it, and then tells Joey that he's won all this money. So Joey doesn't feel like it's charity. So it's just like, yeah, I'm right. We're going to invent a card game. Joey's going to win, and I'm going to give Joey loads of money so he can pay the rent for a couple of months. And then Ross comes along and claims to know the game, and then beats Joey and takes all of Joey's money.
Oh my gosh.
And Ross is like, oh well, that's gambling, isn't it? And Chandler's like, I gave him that money. Like it's a made up game. And Ross is like, yeah, well, I've won it fair and square, bud. It's just like, just fuck off, Ross. Just get out of here.
Just scumbags.
Should we just spend the rest of this podcast talking about Ross Gellar?
No. I think we could, but I think let's not.
We could be here for like it's a whole podcast on its own.
I think
episode by episode Friends podcast. Why is Ross Gellar a cunt? That is a podcast name.
Okay, so I've got a question to end on, right?
Oh, hold on. We haven't even touched Joey's girlfriends.
Yeah, but we've been talking for like nearly 2 hours now.
It's an hour and a half. Don't exaggerate. Don't go there.
Kathy, that was the name of the girl that he was dating.
Oh, there we go.
We quickly talk about the parents very quickly. Let's go through the parents of the friends. So Phoebe's one is non-existent, so we won't go there. But I'm talking about.
Oh no, Phoebe's mum was played by Terry Garr, wasn't she? And then that was a real mum. But yeah, and then she had a brother, and she met her dad as well, who was played by.
The brother thing. It's very touching. It's very touching to me. Very weird though.
I mean, the thing is, you've asked me about Joey's girlfriends, but Joey didn't really have any, really. Like, he went out with Janet. He went out with Janine for a little while, and that didn't end well. He went out with
Janine has
Kathy.
Sweet all three of them. Ross, China, and
Joey. No, Janine was Elle Macpherson. You're talking about Janice.
Janice has done all three, hasn't she?
Don't think she's done Joey.
Okay.
Janice and Joey? No, I don't think so. I don't think she did. No, I don't think so.
Oh, can we quickly go through our best bits then? Let's go through the best bits. Best episodes.
Okay, hang on. Right, you were going to talk about parents as well, though. So we only really see Joey's mum when Joey's dad leaves.
Let's talk about the Gellers because they are the best bits. When those two parents turn up,
they're horrible.
Parents, they're
horrible.
They are funny though.
They're funny though. They are funny.
They're horrible.
They're funny though.
I love when they show up. You know it's about the tension's about to be cut with a knife.
They are so white. Oh now it's problematic, but they still make me laugh, especially the dad. He gets some really good
hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh my god.
That is the best thing of Friends. I don't care. I'll fight you on it.
They kill a family on fire, bro.
Okay, and then Ross snogged Chandler's mum. If we want to talk about Ross being a dick again, Ross got off with Chandler's mum.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think, and
Joey found out his dad was having an affair and tried to get him to stop it. And his mum said, "Don't be so stupid. It keeps him busy. Like, why are you doing that?" So that's not exactly a good role model for Joey either. So let's talk about parents. But if we want to talk about greatest episodes,
the one when they're going to bet on cards or poker for the flat swap is amazing.
That's the one with the embryos. That's the one that I was going to say. So when they're doing the quiz.
Yes. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorites, and the one where no one's ready as well is also one of my favorites.
And the ending question is, what is China's job? And they don't know. It's fantastic.
You get chained up. My favorite episode right there, man. That's the
best. What about you, Troy?
When you get chained, Chandler gets chained up, bro. That's my favorite episode, bro.
Oh yeah, when Chandler gets.
That's my favorite episode, man. It can't be out for me, man. It kills me, man.
First bit of season 6 or 5, whichever one it was. I think it was 6. Is it 5? 6? Can't remember. 6. It's the second half.
Oh, the second half of 6.
Yeah, it's 6. No, the first half of 6 is where China Monaco are trying to hide. Every episode there is a banger because they literally have a good thing and they know to ride it to the halfway through the season. It's good.
The one where no one. Yeah, I like the one where no one's ready.
Best reactions to a line.
And I still think that Ross should have drank the fat.
Best line. best reactions for anything. Because Monica Chandler in bed is 1. Brad Pitt turning up is 1. Bruce Willis turning up is 1.
He's Bruce Willis.
It's the one.
Joey knows, Rachel knows that Joey knows is one of those moments where it's electric. You can hear it.
I mean, the audience, you mean?
Yeah, like the audience reaction. I want the best audience reactions.
Hmm.
And on a positive note.
I think if you want, I thought you were talking about favorite lines.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I thought like a line.
Yeah. And
we can do both.
My favorite line is I think it's the one where it's the Thanksgiving where Chandler's in a box because he's done something to. It's when he kisses Kathy.
Girlfriend, and he won't be forgiven. The Thanksgiving stuff is always funny.
And I'm just trying to think. We talked about the reasons of the box threefold. One, it gives me to think what I did, and then it's when Monica's reading everybody for filth at the end of the episode, and I'm trying to find the quote so I can do it. And then it's like she just goes around all of them, and she's like, "And you live in a box." Yeah. So yeah, Monica goes, "Fine. Judge me all you like." And then she points around and she goes, married a lesbian, points to Rachel, says, left a man at the altar, points to Phoebe and goes, fell in love with a gay ice dancer. She points at Joey and says, you threw your girl's wooden leg in a fire. And then she points at Chandler and goes, you live in a box. That's my favourite bit. Or it's when they're all having an argument and they're like, I wasn't supposed to. And then she's going, no, you weren't supposed to put mince in the trifle. And Phoebe, honey, I think Jack Cousteau's dead.
Oh my god. Oh jeez, there's a line in there, but how many episodes from?
Or over me? When were you under me? Is also a really, really good one as well.
Oh my god.
That's why I'm so disappointed with Rachel's ending, because it was such a good, when she was angry at Ross, you're always with Rachel. You're like, yeah, fuck you. And that's when you start to turn on Ross.
Oh jeez. Oh, Ross.
Yeah. Okay, so if I was going to ask one question to end this on, right?
Yeah.
When Ross had sex with Chloe from the copy shop, was he in the right?
So you're throwing it back on two guys.
Exactly. I'm interested.
Right, Helen, before you end, is it?
Because this is an argument that I have with my husband a lot, right?
No. I would like to ask Helen, not only is that the only question you have to ask male people about how the males act in Friends, I would like to know, is there anything that you feel like we think that the male boys in Friends have trouble with as well? Like that we think is outdated? Because we've updated it now.
Okay, you can answer that first.
I think it's the whole gay thing. Yeah. I fucking hate that shit. Men can be feminine. The men can be who they want to be. Like, fuck it.
It's when they all bully Joey for having a bag. When Joey gets a bag.
Yes,
I really like having a bag.
Look at the bag. Look at the bag. Go in on him.
And when he has an earring, has an earring.
Oh, the earring thing was that got me, bro.
Who is it? Is it Ross or Joey?
I think it was Ross.
Doesn't matter. Does not fucking matter. Seriously. Drove me up the wall. I saw rock stars in '96 with a fucking earring. They were straight.
Yeah, I think it was Ross. Yeah, I think it was Ross.
Fucking hell, I hate that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so was he wrong? I don't want to defend this cunt.
I'll let you take leading that one, Becca. I know exactly what you're going to say. So
you go, Ross. You go first.
You might as well say it, Ben. Ben, go ahead. I know you're going to say it.
Say it. Can I go first?
No, you go ahead, man.
I don't have to sleep until 2:00, brother. You go first.
Hey, I got weekend off, so I'm good, bro.
We're gonna be here all night then. So let's go. Sleeping?
Man.
I need to go to bed soon, hence why I'm drawing it to a close.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was it good? Jeez. So Helen, you said you didn't think it was, yeah? You didn't think it was on your stance.
My stance is that the terms of the break had not been defined.
Okay.
And they had not discussed what that meant. And I don't think it's too much to ask for your partner not to have sex with somebody from the coffee shop on his way home from.
Okay, no. So if you define it that way,
yeah, exactly.
Ross should have checked in with Rachel. Hey, I'm going on a date.
He didn't go on a date. He picked her up at a bar. It's different.
Yeah, but he should have checked it. He should
have said, right. Yeah, he should have been like, right.
Both of them should have checked out the rules before they go forward.
Yeah, but at the same time, if she didn't define the rules, then you could kind of do what you want.
No.
I'm just kind of saying. I'm just kind of saying
there. Both of them. Try. No. This is when I agree with Helen over you for once.
Hey, I hate no.
Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Both sides, right? In a relationship, there are two sides. You both have to discuss that, right? Because that, then the rules are defined. It protects both from breaking the rules. So Rachel is as bad as Ross because both of them did not discuss the rules.
Exactly.
I agree with Helen on that.
Exactly. Didn't define the rules.
No, but
if you're going into a handshake deal in a way, or a verbal agreement.
No.
Then you kind of.
No. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with Helen.
No, I'm saying the first part you said. I'm saying the first part.
Yeah, but they both.
If you didn't define the rules,
They both should have waited until the rules were defined. So Ross is in the wrong for not waiting for Rachel to define the rules. He was too quick.
Yeah, exactly.
What Ross should have done is ask Rachel, what are we before jumping in?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they're not officially just broken up.
Yeah, just pause for 30 seconds before you have sex with somebody that's not your long-term partner.
Technically, a break is not a breakup of the relationship, it's just a pause.
Yeah, exactly. And
sorry, Troy.
I would not be
myself.
To you guys.
I think that I would be if it was me in that position, I'd be like, right, what is this break about before I decide that it's okay for me to go and have sex with somebody else.
There we go. So as a man, I've had breakups with girls, and then you kind of decide between yourselves when it's good to date afterwards. You check in.
Yeah, I use loopholes. That's why. So
yeah.
You're a virgin, so you don't understand this because you never had a relationship with a woman. It's fine, but like,
No. I'm going to take that, but you up on that because like you are calling out friends for like being really quite toxic when it comes to masculinity. And,
I know. I am sorry.
And you're very toxic towards Troy, and I think let's just pause and have a think about how that.
I am sorry, but it's for a comedic effect. At least I don't mean it. Everything I say about Troy is done for jokes on this podcast. It's never taken seriously. Everything I say is to be taken with a massive pinch of salt. The whole bottle of salt. Man's most had more sex than I've ever seen in my lifetime. Anyway, so
I've had my moments. Don't worry about it. But I think if I had to fight with my long-term partner and I didn't know what was going on, I would perhaps err on the side of caution when it came to having sex with people who are not my long-term partner.
Yeah, it's messy otherwise.
And I
not a clean break. Yeah,
and I just think it wouldn't have done Ross any harm just to pause for a moment and think, is this right? Is this a good idea? Right? Am I doing a good thing here?
Record this moment on the 150th episode. Me and Helen actually agreed on something. Wow! I broke up the Troy Helen dream team for once.
I don't think Troy's disagreeing with me.
No, but I actually took your side because I actually have been here. You need a clean break. Like, you've got to make sure it's like you are finished before you go off to something else. Otherwise, if it's a break, it's not the same thing.
A break and a breakup are two very different things. You're correct.
Yes. And some people get confused very easily, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which is why Ross Gellar is not a good person.
I don't think Chandler, just to quickly answer your question, I don't think Chandler is a problematic person. I think Joey's quite sweet. He just generally doesn't commit, but that's different because he tends to go with girls that aren't looking for commitment.
Well, exactly. Joey doesn't lie about it.
Yeah, but he doesn't tend to go for girls. The interesting thing is when he falls for a girl and it doesn't work out. But he takes it in good stead and just stays Joey after that. But he does venture into it sometimes because he's not too sure what happens next. Chandler just wants love and he can't seem to find it and he wants to get away from Janice. I think is more realistic. Ross, if I was ever Ross, I would be divorced. That's it.
Well, he is very good at being divorced, isn't he? Let's face it.
He's a dick. Troy, what do you think of the men in Friends?
What was it? We asking me? We asking me?
Do you think that the males of Friends represent how you feel about men now in 2023?
Represent? No, definitely not.
Any of them?
Represent right now? Nah.
Chandler is always the one I go to because that's the guy. Get the wife, have a relationship, have your future, be realistic.
I guess he's probably the only one closest to it. But other than that, they're all kind of different, especially to this 2023. My goodness, it's all switched up now. My goodness, I don't know. There's no kind of set path nowadays. Anyways.
No, but Chandler is most probably
the only one closest to that is probably Chandler. But other than that,
Chandler is most probably the most stable one of the three in modern day. He comes out well by the end of season 10. He's the one that is in a committed relationship, marriage, loves Monica, doesn't look anywhere else, wants to have kids, wants to progress, lock in. The other two, Chandler is the guy that is like in the adult relationship by the end, definitely. That's who I want to be. I want to be Chandler by season 10. The guy who's confident to stick with his partner throughout his whole life and loves her very much, which I do. Yeah. So I'm Chandler. I know I'm committed. I am Chandler, and I hope most men can become Chandler. Or whoever your partner is, or women can become Chandler. Be Monica or Chandler. Be the happy ending, which it is. Whichever your preference is, I don't care. Just find your Chandler Monica. Yeah? That's the main story. Don't be Ross or Rachel. Don't ever be Ross or Rachel. Just be Joey, single, happy. If you're not in a happy relationship.
That's it. Well, that's a lovely lesson to end on, I reckon.
I am not too bad when I've been drinking. I've drunk the whole bottle of gin. Well, it was about here, so I'm good. That's it for the night. I'm feel pretty good. There's no gin left in the house. That's fine. I saved it for the 150. So I just want to thank everybody that has supported us to this bit. The ratings on Spotify are amazing. So thank you so much. I know we're not there every week, but we are still consistently there. 150. I'm very proud of it. I want to thank Tara. She's gone to sleep. Yeah. Thank you for Tara, Helen, Troy, and the fans, and the other people that started the podcast with us as well that are no longer here. Everyone's played their part to get the podcast here. So without being a dick, I want to thank everybody that's ever been on the podcast, even if they're not here anymore. I appreciate everyone's effort, and thank you. There we go.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
Right. See you in another 150.
Or through. We are the best lineup. So, dickhead on the way out. Dickhead on the way out. Troy, do you want to pump your shit before we go?
Hey man, Legend Ball 101, YouTube man, views, reactions, all that good stuff, man. You know, follow me, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. That's what you need to do, bro.
Hit us up on Twitter, squareicing at twitter.com and at gmail.com.
And Tara has Tara Chloe stuff in the description below.
Description box,
My
guys.
wife's done the artwork. Alex has done her health thing. And I have a YouTube channel, which I don't upload to anymore because I can't be bothered. So, thank you for everything. We will be back next week. After that, I don't know because I'm in Japan. I don't know if these people will record without me. I'm taking my podcast. I'm taking my laptop in case they need me to upload it. In case I won't be here. So next week you get one more Ben, and I am bringing everything next week. There's like 7 shows I'm going to get off my cuff, including
Guys,
Japanese people not kissing properly because we need to discuss it. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye for me.
The other 2 guys that were here previously were totally Ross Gellar. Done!